Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're a little bit early, but I've got some things I have to do. And while we wait for Michelle Hopewell to get the meet started at 6 o'clock, my name is Carl Kinsett. I'm the assistant head coach here at Egan High School. Tonight, the Egan ladies Wildcats are swimming against the Burnsville Blaze. And again, starts at 6 p.m. Meet should go rather quickly. Diving will be after the 50 freestyle. I'm guessing probably around 6:20 this evening. It is now currently 5:42, so if you are watching this later on, go ahead and fast forward about 16 to 18 minutes, and Michelle will join you at that time. For now, I got to put it on mute for the music, but Michelle will be back soon. Thanks. Quick test of the audio. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Egan High School Swim and Dive versus the Burnsville Blaze.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting night of racing. Egan High School girls swim and dive against Burnsville. Blaze just got done with a national anthem. We are in our 9th week of our high school season, and our JV swimmers are looking forward to taper time coming up starting on Monday. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Our first event of the evening will be the 200 medley relay junior varsity. I know we have a lot of educated swim and dive fans out there. Just a reminder, our 200 medley relay order of events is backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, freestyle. Different than the individual medley. So our backstrokers are getting ready. They enter the water. And they are off. This is an entire heat of junior varsity Egan swimmers. Our relay for lane 2 is Paige, Bailey, Molly, and Zasha. It's a Talik sister relay. In lane 3 for our B relay, for our JV B relay is Miriam, Zara, Elise, and Tegan McCauley. And our A JV relay in lane 4 is Tegan, Emily, Julia Showalter, and Allison Luker. We've got our breaststrokers in the water. Solid field of breaststrokers. Something we watch for with breaststroke is to get a good distance per stroke, so they're finishing their kick with their arms stretched out, get the most out of that stroke. Zara looks great. You can see her glide, more of a drive or a lunge forward. And we've got butterflyers in the water.
Third swimmers in the water for Egan in lane 2 is Molly. In lane 3 is Elise, and in lane 4, Julia.
Breaststroke is considered probably technically the hardest stroke, butterfly physically the hardest stroke, especially to learn. And the last leg of this race, freestylers in the water.
And fourth swimmers in the water for Egan in lane 2 is Sasha. In lane 3 is Tegan. In lane 4 is Allison.
And that was a great finish for the girls, real close race. Lane 4, finishing at 2:21.13. Lane 3 with the 2:20.19. And then our third place, 2:30.18. Next event is our varsity medley relay.
Quiet for the start, please. Quiet for the start.
And the backstrokers are off. Egan in lane 1 is Ferris, Gaddy, Kira Tierney, Amber Peterson, and Brenna Gilbranson. In lane 3 for Egan, Egan A is Morgan Kipka, Kira Leisinger, Megan Deerberger, and A.B. Hopewell. And for Burnsville in lane 4, Burnsville A is Ava Piccolino, Amanda Cruz, Minerva Cardenas, and Jules Brown. Egan in lane 5C is Caitlin Kuznar, Layla Hawk, Amanda Gordon, and Megan Wall. And Burnsville B in lane 6, Abby Criskman, Maddie Olofsson, Corey Dawson, and Erica Shepansky. Got our breaststrokers going. Kira Leisinger's out to a great lead, and it looks like Kira Tierney in lane 1 is coming in second, and our butterflies are off. And our Egan A is off to a commanding lead. A.B. Hopewell's in the pool, finishing up that last leg freestyle. And looks like they have a nice solid lead here with our Egan B coming up second. Egan A finishes in a 1:58.81. Egan B finishes in a 2:07.36. And Egan C finishes in a 2:14.25. Burnsville finishes with a 2:16.08. And Burnsville B is finishing strong. 2:44.63. And we do not have a JV heat for the 200 freestyle coming up, so we're going to leapfrog over to event number 4, 200 free varsity event. In lane 1 for Egan is 9th grader Miriam Castle. In lane 2 for Egan is 10th grader Olivia Hendrickson. In lane 3 for Egan is 10th grader Tara Lee. In lane 4 for Burnsville is 8th grader Lauren Bachmeyer. In lane 5 for Egan is 9th grader Zara Hawk. And in lane 6 for Burnsville is Liv Badisflug. Burnsville comes to visit Egan, the small and mighty team with a long, deep history. Some of the best swimmers in the state came from the South Burbs and swam for Burnsville early on back in the day. Meets like this give some of our younger swimmers an opportunity to step up and be in varsity. Half of the race under their belt for the lead. Swimmer right now, Lauren Bachmeyer in lane 4. Closely followed by Egan, Tara Lee. They're on their third 50. And it's looking like third place is a tight race for Miriam, Zara, and Liv. Last 50 here. See them turn on their legs. Strong kick, powering to the end. Really great race over there in lanes 5 and 6 between Zara and Liv. And Burnsville finishes first with a 2:10.82, Lauren Bachmeyer. Second place is Tara Lee with a 2:13.29. That's a solid drop for Tara. Third place for Burnsville is Liv Vadisfu with a 2:22.33. Fourth is Zara Hawk, 2:23.91. Fifth place is Miriam Kessel for Egan with a 2:29.76. And Olivia Hendrickson is finishing strong with a 2:42.66.
All right, up next will be event number 6, the 200-yard individual medley varsity.
Next event is event number 6, the 200 individual medley. This is a varsity event. We do not have a JV event for this race. And in lane 1 for Egan is 11th grader Tegan Gulbranson. In lane 2 for Burnsville is Abby Christman. Lane 3 for Egan is 11th grader Morgan Kipka. Lane 4 for Burnsville, 8th grader Minerva Cardenas. And lane 5 for Egan, 12th grader Vivian Wen. And in lane 6 for Burnsville is 8th grader Maddie Olofsson. Great blend of skills when you see the medley in the water. We get started out with our butterflyers, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. Generally, it's hard to find somebody who's incredibly stellar at all 4 strokes. Usually you have some sort of weakness and you try to strategize and offset that weakness with your strengths. Morgan Kipka is an amazing backstroker, and she's holding that solid lead here going into the breaststroke. Not too far followed behind is Vivian Wen over in lane 5. And third place is a solid race right now between Tegan in lane 1 and Minerva in lane 4. Morgan's holding that lead going into the freestyle. Vivian second, and still a pretty solid race between Tegan and Minerva. Tegan with that long stretched out stroke. And Morgan finishes holding that lead with a 2:27.36. Vivian coming in second with a 2:33.71. Third place is Tegan Gulbranson, the 2:36.32. Fourth is Burnsville's Minerva Cardenas with a 2:37.99. And we've got 2 Burnsville swimmers finishing up on their freestyle leg here. Abby Chrisman is here touching the wall at a soft touch, which is not a no time, but it's not a time reading on the clock. And we'll have to utilize the backup timers, which you see down there, to get that official time for her. And Maddie Olson is finishing here. Last 5 yards of the race. And Maddie finishes with a 3:44.08. Next event is event number 7, girls junior varsity 50 freestyle.
Junior varsity.
In lane 1, we have 11th grader from Egan, Tegan McCauley. In lane 2, exhibition, 9th grader Abby Elder from Egan. Lane 3, from Egan, 9th grader Amanda Gordon. In lane 4, from Burnsville, freshman Corey Dawson. And in lane 5, from Egan, 11th grader Layla Hawk. 50 freestyle. We like to see lots of kick, turnover, power, aggressiveness, limited breathing, and fast touch. Beautiful swim for Amanda Gordon, finishing in a 30.01. Tegan McCauley finished in a 30.10. Corey Dawson finished with a 32.17 from Burnsville. Layla Hawk with a 33.64. And Abby Elder with a 35.94. Next up is our varsity 50 freestyle. In lane 1, from Egan, 11th grader Naomi Fink. In lane 2, from Burnsville is Jules Brown. Lane 3, from Egan, 9th grader Claire Kinseth. Lane 4, from Burnsville is freshman Amanda Cruz. Lane 5, from Egan, 11th grader Elise Williams. And in lane 6, from Burnsville, freshman Emma Tilbury. And it looks like Claire Kinseth is holding strong, finishing in a 27.70, 27.7.0. Second place is Elise Williams with a 29.23. Third place was Burnsville's Amanda Cruz with a 29.51. Fourth was Egan's Naomi Fink with a 29.94. Fifth place is Burnsville's Jules Brown with 32.99. And sixth place is Emma Tilbury from Burnsville, 33.00. Next up is diving. And I will be passing on the commentating to our infamous coach, Carl Kinseth.
It's diving. Can you do diving? Welcome everyone. This is diving. Michelle is going to just do the swimming part of this today. I tried to teach her the diving portion, but she won't have it. So it's all me, which is all good. We have our order here is going to be Gwen Herka from Egan will be first. Sorry, these are all pictures, so these are a little goofy for me here. So Gwen again from Egan going first. Next is Olivia Madden from Egan. In third position, Jenna Teagland from Egan. Naomi Fink in the fourth position from Egan. Mackenzie Whitley in the fifth position from Egan. Maddie Olafson from Burnsville in the sixth position. Seventh position is Ava Roberts from Burnsville. Ellery Jones after her from Egan. Paige Calvin from Burnsville follows Ellery. Gabby Coonsey from Coonsey from Egan High School. Grace Affelt from Burnsville. And I believe finishing it up will be Samantha Ballesteros from Egan. Just a couple of minutes before we get started. A little bit of warm-up going on, and then they will meet with the head referee. What they talk about in those little huddles, I'll never know. Ancient diver's secret, from what I understand. The huddle starts to come together. It's like they know. It's like geese. They just know where to go. And about as noisy as. So, it works out. This is Egan's second to last home meet. We have Shakopee next Tuesday here at home, and then our final, and that is also senior night. So that's going to be a fun one. Make sure you come out live for that one. We will live stream it, but it's probably going to be nice weather. It's not 6 feet of snow, so come out and join us here. We've got a big crowd tonight. For Shakopee, it should be even bigger. Shakopee's got a very large team, and they get better and better every year, so we're looking forward to some great swims against them. And again, it is our senior night.
All right, our order for diving this evening.
It looks like we're about to get started. Egan's final meet of the season is against Rosemont at Rosemont, so come on out for that one as well. It's always a great rivalry.
Mackenzie from Egan. That'll be Maddie from Burnsville, Ava from Burnsville, Ellery from Egan, Paige from Burnsville, Gabriella from Egan, Grace from Burnsville, and Samantha from Egan.
Our main announcer just giving out the order for the people in the stands right now. And we have Gwen Herka up first on the board off to your right as you're looking at them. Gwen is doing a 103C forward 1.5 somersault tuck, and her difficulty is 1.6. Gwen has 3 dives tonight. She's close to a few more. Hopefully get her 6 here this year or next. She scores 3.5 across the board. Up next is Olivia Madden with a 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. Jenna Tegland is on deck. Olivia also with 3 dives tonight. Mom and Dad are here in the stands off to my right. She scores 4.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Jenna is up next from Egan. She's doing a 102B, forward 1 somersault pike, 1.5. Jenna with 3 dives as well. Naomi on deck. Scores are 4.5, 4, and 4. Naomi's up with a 202A, back 1 somersault straight, 1.7. Naomi with 3 dives. Fun fact, Naomi also swims for us, so she'll have an event or 2 in the pool on the swimming side of the world. So she's one of the first to cross over in the 17 years I've been here. She scores 4, 4.5, and 4. Kenzie Whitley with 3 dives tonight. She's a 201A back dive straight, 1.7. Scores are 4.5, 4.5, and 4. Up next is Maddie Olafson from Burnsville. She's doing a 201A back dive straight, 1.7. Ava Roberts is up next. Scores are 4.5, 4.5, and 4. Ava's up next with a 201C back dive tuck, 1.5. Maddie was the first of our divers with 6. Ava has 6 as well. Very nice dive there by Ava. She's going to score 5.5, 6, and 6. Ellery's up next. She's a freshman at Egan with a 201A back dive straight, 1.7. Up next is Paige from Burnsville. Scores for Ellery, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Paige is doing a 201C back dive tuck, 1.5. Up next is Gabby, senior at Egan High School. Pretty dive there. And the scores reflected, 6.5, 7, and 6.5. Gabby with a 201A back dive straight, 1.7. Scores 4.5, 4, and 4. We have Grace Affelt from Burnsville. Looks like a 201B back dive pike, 1.6. Very pretty dive. Very little splash on that one, and there's your scores, 7 across the board. Samantha, another senior from Egan High School. She is also doing a 201B back dive pike, 1.6. Nice, very pretty dive there as well. 6.5, 7.5, and 6.5. We are on run number 2 now. We have Gwen again with a 401C inward dive tuck, 1.4. Scores are 4.5, 5, and 4.5. Olivia's second dive with a 402C inward 1 somersault tuck, and that's a 1.6. Scores are 4.5, 5, and 5. Jenna's up next with her second dive, a 201A, a back dive straight, 1.7. Scores are 3.5, 4, and 4. Naomi with a 402C inward 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 4.5, 4.5, and 5.5. Mackenzie Whitley, 5121D, front 1 somersault with a half twist, free position, 1.7. Mackenzie, also lovingly known by all the swimmers and divers here as Smack Dubs. And, not because she's ever smacked before. Maybe once or twice. Scores 4.5, 4, and 4.
Next diver's Maddie, dive number 202C, a back 1 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.5.
Sorry, I'm having some problems with my camera here. We got Maddie with a 202C back 1 somersault tuck, 1.5. Sorry about that, folks. She scores 3.5, 4, and 4. Up next is Ava. She is diving a 202C back 1 somersault tuck, 1.5. Scores 5.5, 6, and 6. We have Ellery on the board now with a 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. Scores 4.5 across the board. We have Paige up next with a 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores 4.5, 5, and 5.5. Gabby's up next with a 402C inward 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 5.5, 5, and 5.5. Grace with a 203C back 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0 is the difficulty. Scores 5.5, 5, and 6. Sam with the final dive of the second round, and she is a 203B, back 1.5 somersault pike, 2.3. Some discussion amongst the scorers here. Need to mic them up one of these days, hear what's going on down there on the field. But she scores 2, 2, and 2. Not sure what happened there. This is Gwen's third and final dive of the evening. She's doing a 202C, back 1 somersault, tuck 1.5.
Yes, it is dive number 202C, back 1 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Back 1 somersault, tuck position. Last time was a 401C inward dive tuck position.
Some question about which dive this was, but we got it straightened out, and off she goes. Nice little dive right there for Gwen in her final dive. And she scores 4.5s across the board. Olivia Madden's final dive of the evening, a 301C reverse dive, tuck 1.6. Scores 4, 3.5, and 3.5. Jenna's third and final dive of the evening, 5211A back dive, half twist, straight, 1.8. Very nice dive there. Scores 4, 5, and 5. Naomi's final dive of the evening as well, 102B, front 1 somersault pike, 1.5. Scores for Naomi, 4.5, 5.5, and 5. Smack Dub's final dive of the evening, a 301B reverse dive pike, 1.7. I believe that is a new dive this week. 4.5, 4.5. So I think she's very happy with that. Maddie is a 101A front dive straight, 1.4. Again, this is our third round of diving. Scores 3.5 across the board. Ava's up next with a 403C inward dive tuck, 2.2. So that was a full 1.5 somersault. She scores 3.5 across the board. Ellery with a 402C. Edwards 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores for Ellery, 3.5 across. This is Paige, her third dive, 103B, a front 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7. Scores 5, 4.5, and 5. It's Gabby's third dive, a 301B reverse dive pike, 1.7. Very nice dive. 4.5s across. This is Grace with a 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores 5.5, 6, and 6.5. This is Sam with a 104B forward 2 somersault pike, 2.3. Scores for Sam 5, 4.5, and 5.5. Okay, fourth round of diving is Maddie. Be Maddie with a 102C front 1 somersault tuck, 1.4. Scores 4.5, 4, and 5. Next is Ava with a 103C front 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores are 6, 6, and 5.5. Ellery's up next with a 302C reverse somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 5.5, 5, and 5. Paige up next with a 104C front 2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores are 5.5, 5.5, and 6. Gabby with a 103B front 1.5 somersault pike position, 1.7. Scores are 5, 4.5, and 4.5. Grace up next with a 105C, forward 2.5 somersault tuck. This is a 2.4. Scores are 5, 4, and 4. Sam with a 403C, inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores are 5, 5.5, and 6. Starting our fifth round is Maddie with a 401C, inward dive tuck, 1.4. Scores are 4 across, 4, 4, and 4. Ava with a 104C, front 2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores are 4, 4, and 4.5. Ellery is up next with a 51-22D, forward 1 somersault, 1 twist, free position 1.9. Scores are 5, 4.5, and 4.5. Page is up next with a 301C reverse dive tuck, 1.6. Scores are 3.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Gabby's up next with a 51-22D, front 1 somersault, 1 twist, free position 1.9. Scores are 3, 4, and 3.5. Grace is up next with a 303C reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1. Scores 4.5, 5, 5.5. Sam up next with a 52-23D, back 1 somersault with 1.5 twists, free position 2.3. Scores are 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Maddie going our 6th round and final round of diving tonight. She's doing a 51-11A, front dive 1.5 twist, straight 1.8. Scores are 3, 3.5, 3.5. Ava's 6th and final dive is a 51-22D, front 1 somersault twist, free 1.9. Scores are 4.5, 5, and 5. This is Ellery's final dive with a 103B, 1.5 somersault, pike 1.7. Scores are 6, 4.5, and 4.5. Paige's final dive, 52-21D, back 1 somersault with a half twist, free 1.7. Scores are 4.5, 4.5, and 5. Gabby is up next. Her final dive of the evening is a 52-23D, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free position. It's a 2.3. Scores 5.5, 5, and 5. Grace with a 52-31D, back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, free position. Her difficulty on this is 2.1. Scores are 6.5, 6, and 6. Our final dive of the evening is Sam. It's a 52-31D, a back 1.5 somersault, half twist, free position, 2.1. Scores are 7, 6.5, and 6.5. That does conclude diving for the evening. We got about a 10-minute warm-up, and we have to go on mute because of the music, but Michelle Hopewell will join you again for the start of the 100-yard butterfly again, just a little bit after 7 o'clock. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Welcome back, everyone. We are getting ready for the next event, which is the Varsity 100 Butterfly. And for Egan, 11th grader Amber Peterson in lane 3. And for Burnsville, lane 4 is Emma Tilbury, freshman. Lane 5 for Egan is senior Brenna Gulbranson. And in lane 6 for Burnsville is Erica Shapansky. Hunter Butterfly is a personal favorite of mine. Was one of my Minnesota high school swimming events back in the day. Amber and Brenna are off to a commanding lead for this event, bringing it home in the last 25 of this race. Doing a really great job with their breath control, not breathing every stroke. That helps keep the tempo of the stroke. Amber finished in a 1:07:01. Brenna finished in a 1:08:73. First and second. Emma Tilbury for Burnsville finished with a 1:29:81, and Erica is finishing with a 1:42:50. Next event is the Junior Varsity 100 Freestyle.
Our next event this evening will be event number 13, the 100-yard freestyle junior varsity.
In lane 1 for Egan is 9th grader Abby Elder. In lane 2, swimming exhibition for Egan, is 9th grader Allison Luker. In lane 3 for Egan is 10th grader Zasha Padilla. Lane 4 for for Burnsville is freshman Corey Dawson. Lane 5 for Egan is 10th grader Olivia Hendrickson. And lane 6 for Burnsville is Jules Brown. Allison's taking out strong with an awesome kick. Her first 50 split was a 30.94. It's a great first 50, taking it out for her 100. And again, in Allison swimming this exhibition, meaning we can't fill the pool with all Egan swimmers when Burnsville has got 3 of the lanes. And we have 3 of the lanes, but they just don't have 3 swimmers. So we have another Egan swimmer, but does not count for points. So Allison finished with a 1:05:92. Second place was Zasha Padilla with a 1:09:51. Third place is Corey Dawson from Burnsville with a 1:10:37. Fourth place was Olivia Hendrickson from Egan, 1:14:48. Fifth place was Jules Brown from Burnsville, the 1:15:87, and sixth place from Egan is Abby Elder, the 1:18:27. Next up is varsity. And lane 1 is senior from Egan, Julia Showalter. Lane 3 is senior captain, Megan Deerberger. Lane 4 is junior from Burnsville, Ava Piccolino. Lane 5 is 11th grader from Egan, Kira Tierney. And in lane 6 from Burnsville, Abby Christman. First split for Megan was a 27.97. Excuse me, 27.92. Taking it out to a strong lead with awesome kick. Looks like Kira Tierney's going to be coming in second to Megan. Megan finished with a 59.22. Kira Tierney finished with a 101.24. Julia Showalter, Ava Piccolino finished third with a 103.81. Julia Showalter finished fourth with a 104.97. And Abby Chrisman finishes fifth with a 119.09. We have one heat of the 500 free coming up next. It's varsity. Pretty quick meet here. Looks like we have the Tolick sisters in this heat coming up. We have two sets of twins on the team. That's kind of exciting. In lane 1 for Egan is 10th grader Bailey Schmidt. In lane 2 for Burnsville is Liv Spadafu. In lane 3 for Egan is Paige Tolick, 10th grader. Lane 4 for Burnsville is Minerva Cardenas. In lane 5 for Egan is Zara Hawk. And in lane 6 for Egan is Molly Tolick. .500 freestyle is 20 lengths of the pool. Want to give a shout out to the grandparents out there tuning in. I know for sure we've got the Kinsets and the Gobransons watching. Want to thank you for your support over the years. I know the grandparents who watch have been watching for many years, back to the days when your own kids were in the pool. I appreciate that, as my mom is sitting in the stands watching her granddaughters, having been a great swim mom for me back in the day as well. Really appreciate the support. Minerva, 8th grader from Burnsville, is taking it out to a strong lead here. Just finished their 150, going into the 200.
We have results of the diving this evening. For varsity diving, in 6th place is Ellery from Egan with a score of 131.8. In 5th place is Gabriella from Egan with a score of 149.2. In 4th place from Burnsville is Ava with a score of 157.9. In 3rd place from Burnsville was Paige with a score of 168.95. In 2nd place was Samantha from Egan with a score of 203.1. And in 1st place this evening is Grace from Burnsville with a score of 207.75.
And we have results from diving. 6th place from Egan was Ellery. 5th place from Egan was Gabby. 4th place from Burnsville was Ava. 3rd place from Burnsville was Paige. 2nd place from Egan was Samantha. And the 1st place from Burnsville was Grace. For our 500 here. We are at the halfway point. Minerva is holding her lead, and she's inching ahead. Second, third, fourth place is a nice, strong race going on lanes 1, 2, and 3 with Bailey, Liv, and Paige. Ooh, Bailey just went into that turn very strong. I've got a 200 left for those curls. Really like to see the second half of this race with a lot of intensity and speed. Sometimes swimmers will take it out really strong in the beginning and hold on for dear life towards the end. Other swimmers will negative split it, meaning their second half of their 500 will be split faster than the first half. Or even split, take it out strong and hold on to that same speed. Really like to see a strong kick throughout, but the last 100 is when you want to really ride those legs. And that's where we're at, is going into the last 100 here for Minerva holding that lead. Looks like Bailey is inching into that second place position going into her last 100. Liv is holding on to that third place spot. Paige Tolick is holding fourth. And the bell lap, which is the last 50. And Minerva is holding strong for that last 50 with that kick. There it is, turning it on with a great turnover. Her stroke rate going. Looks like a good race between Bailey, Liv, and Paige, but Bailey looks like she's going to finish strong here. And does not want to let go of that second place position. And Minerva finishes with a 6:07.02, first place in lane 4 for Burnsville. Bailey looks like she's going to come into the wall here. Second, closely followed by Liv in lane 2. Third, Bailey finished with a 6:20.68. Liv with a 6:21.11 from Burnsville. Fourth place for Egan is Paige Tolick with a 6:23.14. Fifth place is Zara Hawk with a 6:38.48. And Molly over in lane 6 is bringing it home here with the last few yards to go. And touches under 7 minutes, which is very exciting, with about a 6:55 and a soft touch, meaning she didn't get her finger to the wall quite as strong as we'd like to see it. That 6:59.56 is not accurate. I think the official time will be a little bit faster than that. And we are at the relays. 200 freestyle junior varsity relay coming up next. Sometimes we see some fun things happening, like a diver relay, which we do have going on. For our A relay, it's our diver relay of senior captain Samantha Ballesteros, senior Gabby Mercer, senior Mackenzie Whitley, and 11th grader Naomi Fink. That's our A relay. Relay is made completely with our divers. Our B relay in lane 3 is Jenna Tieglin in lane 1, diver. Olivia Madden Lane 2, or lane 3. She's our second swimmer. Third swimmer is Gwen Herka, diver. And fourth swimmer for our B relay is Ellery Jones. And in lane 5, we had Olivia Hendrickson and Abby Elder, Zasha Padilla, and Allison Luker. Our diver swimmers are doing awesome. You never know that they are doing double duty today with relays, swimming, and diving. They look awesome. This is always fun to have the divers participate in these relays. Naomi Fink, she is actually a dual athlete here. She does both swimming and diving on a regular basis. Lane 5 finished first place. That was a relay of Olivia Hendrickson, Abby Elder, Zasha Padilla, and Allison Luker, finishing in a 2:11:36. Our second place finish of the relay of Samantha Ballesteros, Gabby Mercer, Mackenzie Whitley, and Naomi Fink. They finished the 2:14:48. And our third place relay of divers, Jenna Tieglin, Olivia Madden, Gwen Herka, and Ellery Jones. They finished in a 2:35:61. Phenomenal job for our JV relay swimmers. Next up is our varsity 200 freestyle. In lane 1, leading off is for Egan, senior captain, Kira Lasinger. In lane 3 for Egan, senior captain, A.D. Hopewell. In lane 4 for Burnsville, Amanda Cruz. In lane 5 for Egan, Emily Tieglin. In lane 6 for Burnsville, Abby Chrisman. Second leg in lane 1 is Ari Carlson for Egan. Lane 2 for Egan is Ferris Gaddy. Lane 4 for, that was lane 3 for Egan. Lane 4 for Burnsville is Corey Dawson. Lane 5 for Egan is Claire Kinseth. And lane 6 for Burnsville is Maddie Olfson. Third leg for Egan in lane 1 is Julia Showalter. And lane 3 for Egan is Tegan Gilbranson. And lane 4 for Burnsville, Lauren Bachmeyer. Lane 5 for Egan is Vivian Wen. And lane 6 for Burnsville is Erica Shapansky. And coming into the final leg, diving in for our A relay. Lane 3 is Caitlin Kuznar. For our our C relay is Elise Williams in lane 1. And for our B relay in lane 5, Tara Lee. The anchor leg for Burnsville in lane 4 is Liv Vadispu. And for Burnsville diving in for their lane 6 anchor is Emma Tilbury. Egan A finished first with a 150.90. B finished lane 5, 152.57. Lane 1, Egan C was a third place with a 156.19. Fourth place for Burnsville was a 202.11. And then fifth place for Burnsville is 228.80. Next event is event 20, 100 backstroke. We do not have a JV heat for this, so we're going to leapfrog over JV and go right into the 100 backstroke. In lane 1 for Egan is 11th grader Tegan McCauley. In lane 3 for Egan is 11th grader Emily Tieglin. In lane 4 for Burnsville is junior Ava Piccolino. Lane 5 for Egan is 11th grader Layla Hawk. And lane 6 for Burnsville is Jules Brown. Ava Piccolino in lane 4 for Burnsville is holding strong. First 50 split with 35.17. She's got a nice lead with Emily Tieglin close behind, followed by teammates Tegan McCauley and Layla Hawk. And Burnsville's Ava Piccolino finished with a 113.24, followed by, I believe it was Emily Tieglin with a soft touch on her finish, but probably in the range of 114, 115. Third place will go to then Tegan McCauley, the 116.23. Fourth place will be Layla Hawk with a 118.51. Fifth place is Burnsville. Jules Brown with a 133.47. Next up is 100 breaststroke varsity. We will have an exhibition swimmer in this next race. Or two, I believe. We will have lanes 2 and 6 are exhibition swimmers for Egan. In lane 1 for Egan, 10th grader Megan Wall. In lane 2 for Egan, 10th grader Bailey Schmidt. Lane 3 for Egan, senior captain Ari Carlson. Lane 4 for Burnsville, Amanda Cruz. Lane 5 for Egan, Caitlin Kuznar. And 6 for Egan, Molly Tolick. Burnsville's Amanda Cruz is taking it out to a strong lead, closely followed by Ari Carlson and Caitlin Kuznar. my favorite things to say about breaststroke is to have fast hands and fast feet, which is what Amanda Cruz just did with the finishing from Burnsville to 119.34. Second from Egan is a 121.88 for Ari Carlson. Third for Egan is Caitlin Kuznar finishing in a 124.35. Fourth for Egan is Megan Wall with a 126.40. Fifth place for Egan is Molly Tolick with a 135.82. And sixth place for Egan, Bailey Schmidt with a 139.07. We will be finishing up. Our final event for the evening is the 400 freestyle relay. This is a varsity event. Not a lot of rest for these girls, going from race to race with few heats in between. Very limited varsity, junior varsity heats. So there's not a lot of rest. The back-to-back-to-back swimming can be really taxing, even if they're swimming 50s on relays. It's a misnomer to think that just down and back is easier. Just expend a lot more energy in that sprinting. And we are off. In lane 1, it's our Egan C, consisting of Kira Tierney as the leadoff. Second will be Ari Carlson. Megan Deerberger will go third for that relay, and last in lane 1, the anchor will be Claire Kinseth. For Burnsville, we have leadoff Ava Piccolino. Second swimmer will be Liv Vadescu. Third will be Lauren Bachmeyer, and fourth will be Minerva Cardendas. Egan A in lane 3. It starts off with Amber Peterson. Second will be Ferris Gaddy. Third will be Vivian Nguyen. And fourth anchor will be Avi Hopewell. In lane 4 for Burnsville consists of Jules Brown, Erica Shapansky, Emma Tilbury, and we have a question mark for their anchor in lane 4. Lane 5, Egan B, is Kira Leisinger was the leadoff. Brenna Gilbranson, second leg. Third is Megan Wall, who just finished that 100 breaststroke. And fourth will be Morgan Kipka for our B. And D, exhibition for Egan is Tara Lee for that leadoff. Second was Amanda Gordon. Third is Miriam Kassel. And fourth is Paige Tolick, just finished the backstroke recently. Sorry, I got the sisters mixed up. Second leg, looks like a good race going on between Egan A and Egan B. Coming into the final leg here for our A and B. B has got a slight edge over A. It's always exciting. Looks like our Egan B is going to finish strong here, taking the first place touch in a 3:55.91. Second place touch to wall, Avery Hopewell and Lane with a 3:57.95. And third place goes to Egan C, finishing in a 4:12.80. Burnsville A just finished at 4:24.47. And Egan D finished at the 4:12.80. Thank you all for tuning in tonight.
And this concludes our meet for this evening. Congratulations to our athletes, our coaches. Thank you to our officials, our volunteers, and our sponsors, Minnesota Orthodontics and the Emergency Room, for their continued sponsorship of the EHS Swim and Dive program.
We appreciate all the support, and we will see you next time.